Now, hear me out. If you're a dad, if you're a mom, if you're a college student, if you're a teenager, even if you're a toddler, what I'm about to share with you in this video is so important, so pay close attention, and it's applicable for everybody. Stress. Okay, now as a health and fitness coach, I love to encourage my coaching members all about the importance of stress. And hear me out, I'm just going to give you the quick rundown, okay? You could be doing all the right things under the sun. You could be dialed into your nutrition, crushing your macros, eating plenty of protein. You could be getting plenty of steps in like what I'm doing right now, right, as I'm making this video, drinking plenty of water, lifting weights, right, like sleeping a great amount. But if you're underneath a lot of stress, you're literally going to be just self-sabotage, hurting yourself because you're going to be spiking your cortisol levels. And hear me out, okay? When it comes to just your hormones and how they play a factor, it has everything to do when it comes to homeostasis, right? So if your body's all out of whack and it's just like you're underneath all this stress, you're not going to be losing body fat. Think about it like this, okay? Let's just say there's this big manufacturing plant, okay? And the fire alarms go off. Well, all the employees are going outside. So let's say like they're mainly working on the machines, they're mainly like making the products for everything like that. They all go outside because the fire alarm is going off. Now, even though inside the electricity's still on, the Wi-Fi is still rolling, it's not like the production is still doing anything, right? So I want you to think about it like that with your body when it comes down to a lot of stress, okay? It's like the fire alarms are going off. So lipolysis, the hormonal process of your body losing body fat, it ain't happening, okay? Your body's literally trying to put out the fire, i.e. the stress somewhere. And stress can come in all different types of forms. A lot of people think stress is just like, oh, I'm dealing with a bad situation with my significant other, and it's a toxic relationship right now, lots of drama, lots of stress. Sure, that's stress, but like there could be stress with injuries, stress with illnesses, stress with traveling and you're out of your environments, out of your routine, stress with just anxiety, worry, doubt, fear. Like stress, once again, comes in so many different factors, so many different forms, okay? And so once again, the importance, right, of this video is teaching you all about stress, but also giving you some guidance. I want to go over just 3 different ways to really help you lower that stress. Now, before we dive into that, let's talk about the different type of stress that we can actually help you out with in today's video, okay? Because some stress is good. I mean, if you think about it, you go to the gym, like you're lifting weights, focusing on progressive overload, you're breaking down the muscles first before you can build them up to become stronger. So once again, you can see here that like when you're underneath stress in certain areas, you can benefit from it. Another way to think about this is like, think about an arrow. You got to pull it back, right? Well, when you pull it back, there's tension, there's stress on that bow. And the farther that you pull it back, right, the harder it is. But think about it, the farther it goes forward. So I just really hope that helps you out when it comes to some clarity here. Because I feel like most of the time, especially guys, like we deal with a lot of stress that's outside of our hands, outside of our plate, stuff that like we literally can't do anything about, but yet we are constantly worried about it. We're constantly focusing on that stress, and it's just eating us away on the inside, right? Causing so much extra stress, spiking our cortisol levels, like becoming a warrior words, constantly dealing with anxiety and worry and fear and doubt. So let's talk about that. How do we deal with that? Where it's stress that's outside of your playing field. It's stress that, hey, there's nothing that you could really do about. You might think you can, but realistically, like you can't. It's just one of those things where it's just outside of your control. And I know personally for me, there's several times where, hey, I'm going through something in my life and it's outside of my control, but yet I'm always worried about it, or I'm still focusing on it, or whatever the case may be. These are the 3 tips that I personally use. These are the 3 tips that I share with my clients to do all the time, because it gives you a sense of control. It gives you a sense of just peace, especially right there in the present moment when you need it the most. So tip number 1 is breath work. So important. In my opinion, this is like one of the things that they should be teaching children, honestly, in school, because it can help you out. I mean, man, if I knew this back in the day when I was a kid, and like people were picking on me and bullying on me because I was overweight when I was in middle school, if I can just sit there, right, and breathe, focus on the breath work, that could just help me out right there in that moment, calm my emotions down. So how do you do it? Well, it's very simple. There's several different breathwork exercises. Here's what I personally like to do. I like to close my eyes, a big breath in through my nose, okay, and as I'm breathing in, I'm making sure that that air is coming all the way through and my belly's getting filled up with air. Not breathing into my lungs, breathing into my belly. Okay, from there, my eyes are still closed and I'm just exhaling out of my mouth. A full release. So my stomach is going in and out as I'm breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth, okay? If you honestly just did that right now, pause this video, okay? And just focus on doing anywhere from 3 to 5 of those breathwork exercises, I promise you, it's gonna mellow you out. So you're gonna be so chill, just mellow, like it's gonna help you out so much. Once again, just getting you where it's not this constant battle between your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight. Like it's just like relaxes your nervous system, okay? So that's number one. The second tip, and I'm a fan of this, is do something that you can have control over, right? Look for a positive outlet, you know? So it's just like, a great example is like my second girlfriend ever back in high school. When she broke up with me, it was also during the time when I was training to do mixed martial arts and cage fighting. So I had a heavy bag in my garage. So anytime I was like, you know, getting upset because she broke up with me or thinking about all these things that, you know, teenagers do, you know, in the midst of a heartbreak, it's like, hey, you get angry, you get upset, you get mad. So what did I do with that? I would go out to my garage, right, and boom, 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 just start hitting on the heavy bag, right, as a positive outlet, right, using that emotions, right, because once again, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So if I'm dealing with this negative energy, how can I utilize it, right, flip the switch onto a positive outlet? For you, maybe you don't have access to a heavy bag, but maybe you can go for a run, maybe you can go for a walk, maybe you can do some push-ups, some sit-ups, go hit the gym, something, right, that gives you a sense of control. And if you think about it, like working out is such a great stress reliever once again, right? Helping out with all your, you know, endorphins and everything, you know, chemical balance to just help you out in the midst of being stressed as well, okay? So that's tip number 2. Do something that you can control and use a positive outlet for that, okay? And lastly, and this is my opinion, right? Probably the best thing is to let go like God, right? Just literally say a quick prayer, right? I think for most people, we have this logical mind, the ego mind, right? Where it's like, we have to know the outcome. We have to do it our way or the highway. And we can only see things from one point of view. You know, we see things as 2 + 2 = 4, and it has to be just like that. But we often forget that 1 + 3 = 4, and 5 - 1, that also equals 4. We forget about these things. So it's just like, sometimes we don't know the how, and we don't need to know the how, but we need to just have trust and faith and believe that it's all going to work out at the end of the day. And like, this is where it's all about having faith. Once again, letting go, letting God. Spend some time in prayer. You know, also talk to some people. Just get it off your chest. Not looking for validation or looking for, you know, an answer or anything like that. You know, it's just literally just to talk, just to get it off your plate. My pastor says this all the time. A problem shared is a problem cut in half. You know, if you think about it, if let's say you're dealing with a lot of stress in your life right now. Once again, these are things that's outside of your control. Okay? Think about that as like having a glass of water. And if I had that glass of water and all that stress, all the negativity was these black food coloring drops, and it's like 100 drops into that black, that water, it's going to turn black, obviously. And let's just say like the positivity, right? Maybe that's some affirmations, maybe that's like, you know, some positive thoughts, right? Maybe that's like white food coloring drops. And we could even put in 200 white food coloring drops into that black water, right? That only had 100 black food coloring drops. And so we put 200 of the white ones in there. Guess what? The solution's still gray. It's still muddy. The only way to actually clean it out and clear it out is to dump out that water. And just venting, getting stuff off your chest, that can help you out so much. So it doesn't even have to be to a person, right? Like it could be just, once again, you just praying with God. You just spending some time in worship, spending some time in the Bible, and just, once again, just venting, just getting off your chest, or talking to somebody about it as well. So once again, I really hope this video just helps you out. I understand stress is a big factor, and hey, I want you to be the best version of yourself. That means looking good, feeling good, being your best mentally and physically. And once again, you could be crushing in the gym, crushing it with the nutrition, but if you're underneath a lot of stress, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. Like your body's not going to lose the body fat. It's not going to build the muscle if you're spiking your cortisol levels and underneath a lot of the stress. And with most of the stress that we all face, especially as guys, it's stuff that's outside of our control. So follow through those 3 tips that I just shared with you. The breath work, right? Doing something that you can do as a positive outlet, and letting it go, letting God, having faith, believing that it's all going to work on the end. Hopefully, that should be able to help you out. If you want any more tips and tricks, anything like that to just help you when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself mentally and physically on your own health and fitness journey, I have a free training guide. If you're watching this on YouTube, just click on the link down below in the description box. It's the very first link right there that you can go ahead and check out. As always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.